Hello and welcome to MidnightSilverCrafters.com. My name's Steve and I'll be your host. Today in this video we're going to learn how to bend thick ring bezels.
This thing is hot. Woo, that's some heat. Alright, all I'm going to do is I'm going to reach in here. Now you got to go careful with this stuff. You're dealing with something that's this hot. You got to be careful because it's hot. I mean, it's really hot. Alright, so today what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about making a thick bezel for a ring or whatever you want to use it for. Just a bezel to go around a stone or whatever you're using. But a lot of times, if you want to make a thick bezel, it's really hard to bend that metal using your hands and your pliers. Sometimes it's just really hard. I got a piece of metal here. Now this is right between a 12 gauge and a 14 gauge. Okay, this is like 1.7 millimeters thick. Okay, now when you start getting around the 12 gauge metal, it's going to be really hard to bend. And sometimes you want to make a thick bezel. Thick bezels look good on different things, but what I'm doing today, I'm making a bezel for a ring I'm making. It's going to be a serrated bezel, alright, but it's got to be thick for it to look right for what I'm trying to do. But so I got my stone here. This is a real nice stone. Alright, now the first thing you need to do, you need to measure around your stone. Alright, now you need to get your measurement of your stone. So we'll measure this. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, we got about 14.3 millimeters. Alright, now what you're going to do, you're going to take your stone and you're going to hold it up to your ring mandrel, and if you put your stone on the end of your ring mandrel, you just hold it there. You can see now. See, this stone is bigger than the very end of this this ring mandrel. This is my steel ring mandrel. Now, if I was making a smaller, a real small stone, of course, you're probably not going to put a thick bezel on a stone too much smaller than this is. This is about maybe a little bit smaller than it, maybe about a 10 millimeter. I don't think you'd probably go much smaller than that, but I mean, if you wanted to make a smaller one, you get a different mandrel. Like now, see this mandrel? This is a little step mandrel I got. Alright, so but my last step on this mandrel, see, my last step on this mandrel down here is 10 millimeters. Alright, so if my stone was 10 millimeters, I would use this last step right here on this mandrel. But my stone's a little bigger than that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my bigger mandrel. All right, so we got 14.8. All right, I'm going to say it's about 15 millimeters. All right. Now, what you do, you get your ring mandrel, you come over here and you set your calipers. All right. 14.8. Okay, right here. Now I'm going to go over my mandrel and I'm going to slide that down until that just touches. Alright, and it's right there. Take your Sharpie marker and you put your mark right there. All right, now that's your diameter of your stone right there. All right, now all we're going to do, I'm going to take this piece of metal here and I'm going to wrap it right around this ring mandrel. I'm going to put it right in the center here and I'm going to wrap it around there. Now, I got my vise here and I already got my vise. I opened up my vise. Okay, see, I got it exactly right there where I want it. Now, I'm going to open my vise just a little bit bigger. Alright, so I'm going to open that up a little bit bigger. Alright, and I'm just going to take my my metal and I'm going to lay it over my vise. Alright, and I'm going to get my hammer. But I'm going to lay this mandrel right on the top of that. And I'm just going to pound my mandrel down right like that. See? All right, now. All right. I got these rubber pads on this vise. But I think I'm going to probably take them off, excuse me. But that's what I did. All right, now look, I'm right here. Right there's my mark. So I'm just going to hold that on my mark. And I'm gonna just work this metal right around this mandrel, right on that mark, okay? And now I'm just gonna bend it over on each side. All right. Now I'm gonna bend it like that. All right now. All right now I got my basic. See, I got my basics right there. I got it real close right there. All right now. I haven't put pliers on this at all. Okay, not at all. I have not used one pair of pliers to work this shape. I'm just using my mandrel, my ring mandrel. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to get some pliers. All right, and we're going to pull one side up higher than the other so that we can wrap this around our mandrel, okay, so that one side is going to be higher than the other. All right, now it's real hard to bend. You probably won't have the finger strength that I do. If you don't, it's all right. Just get you a pair of pliers and grab it. But I'm going to use my fingers. But I'm going to bend this up like that. Okay, see that? Now you'll build up finger strength. So don't worry about it. All right. Now see how I got this side higher than this side. All right. Now all I'm going to do is pound that side down, and I'm going to pound that side down. Now my mark is right here, alright, and I'm right there in the middle. So now I got it like this. It's overlap, but I'm going to take my stone and lay it in, and I'm going to check it. Alright. Now, I'm looking right here on each side, and that looks real good. All right, that might be just a little bit loose, so I'm gonna put it back on here. All right, and I'm gonna slide it a little bit up, just a tiny bit up from my mark. All right, and I'm just going to take my hammer. All right, now. All right, now. There we go. All right, now check it again. All right, we're a little bit, it's a little bit too big, so I'm gonna go just keep sliding it down my mandrel a little bit, pull it up some, okay, until I get the right fit. See now? That's pretty good. Now we need just a hair more. Alright, so I'm going to slide it back on my mandrel. Alright. And I'm going to tap it down some more. Just a wee little bit. Not much. But we don't need much. Alright. Now. Got it like that. Looks like that's okay. Just a tiny little bit more. So that looks sweet right there. I believe that's dead on it. All right, there we go. We got that right on the money. Dead on it. All right, now all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna take my jeweler saw. Alright, I'm going to take my jeweler saw and I'm going to cut right across the middle and then we're going to solder it together. Alright, now put it on my bench pin. Alright, so I'm just going to cut right across the middle right there. That's all you got to do. Alright. Just about to get through it. But you see, I really haven't used pliers at all to do this bezel. Because this is the easiest way that you can make a thick bezel. Just like this, okay? Come on, get through there. Just about got through there. I want to break my blade. There we go. Alright, there we go. Now, I cut me straight across both pieces. Alright, now, I'm gonna take that off of there. Alright, now, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it back on my bench. Right, and I got it right here on my bench. And I'm going to take my hammer and I'm going to just pound it down flat. Alright, now, there we go. Now all I got to do is just a little bit of adjustment. Alright, with my pliers. Alright, I'll take my little block and my chasing hammer. Alright, and I'll make sure that it's flat. Okay, see, I got that flat. Now I'm just going to take me some pliers. Alright, and I'm going to work both sides of this. Just a little bit, just close that gap and we got it. See, it's hardly any work at all with your pliers. Now I'm just going to pull that up and just pull that down. Alright, now I'm going to set this. I'm going to put this right side underneath the left side. a little bit, and then I'm going to pull it back, and it's going to be set with spring tension. It's going to be tight. So we'll set that with some spring tension. All right, I got it back below it. All right, now I'm just going to pull that out lightly and pull that together. All right. Now we just got to level these two up. All right. And we got it. Now, there you go. All right, now I'm going to check that with my stone. Okay, now it looks like it's going to be perfect. It's not round right now. Okay, it's not round, but it will be because I'm going to solder it. And I'm going to go ahead and solder this. So let's go ahead and solder it. All right, and I'll stick it right here. I'll stick it right here on my cross locks. All right. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this thing soldered. All right, I'll get my solder. And I'm going to cut me a thin, tiny piece of solder. Now put your finger over the top when you're cutting your solder, that way you don't lose it. And I'm going to put 2 pieces of solder right on my bench, okay? 2 tiny little pieces of solder. See, it's really, soldering is dead simple. Alright, now watch my soldering video. If you really want to learn how to solder jewelry, watch my soldering video. It's a 3-part video, but I promise you, you'll know how to solder like a pro. Alright, if you watch those three parts of that soldering video. Alright, I'm going to put a tiny bit of flux down here on my bench, and I'm going to put a tiny bit right on there. Just a tiny bit. Alright, I'm going to take this solder, dip it right in the flux. I'm going to put it right on top of that joint. Alright, I got my 2 little pieces. Alright, but now if you try to make a real thick ring bezel without using this method, you're going to be really doing a lot of cussing, because you can do it, but man, it's tough. Alright, there's my solder. Alright, all I got to do is grab my torch. Alright, which is over here. And we're going to solder it. Alright, now. Alright. Just about to flow. Alright, there it went. Alright, there it flashed. You'll see the flash. Alright, we got it. Alright, take it off. Got a little bit of water here. Alright, now we got just a tiny little bit of filing. Not much at all. Right on the edge of that bezel. Right there. Alright. So I'm just gonna lightly hit this, okay, with a little small flat file. I'm just going to real lightly, very lightly file this down. If you want to get one of these bench pins like I got like this, go to my website. I got some on there. I just put the new ones on. They're real similar to this, but boy, these little points right here, that's just perfect for making rings and bezels and all kinds of stuff. All right, we'll follow that down just a little bit. All right, now take this, put it back on my mandrel. All right, and I'm gonna just lightly tap it around here. Go all the way around, flip it over, because your mandrel's tapered, so you want your part to be even. All right, now take it off, and let's see what we got. It looks like it looks like we're close to perfect. We're very, very close to perfect. But you want your stone to be you don't want your stone to fit in real tight. Okay, before you solder this bezel down, okay, onto the top of your ring, you want your bezel to you want your stone to just drop right in. So what we're going to do, we're going to stretch this out, not much. Now this is where you got to be careful, because you can stretch it too much. Because it does stretch, and you just turn that around. All right. Now, and that's really cool. All right. I'm gonna work that just a hair more. But you want your bezels perfect. Okay? I mean, well, you want all your work perfect, but you don't want, when you make a bezel that's going for a stone, you want that fit to be perfect unless you're intentionally doing something otherwise. Okay? Sometimes you can design a piece with a gap, but that's intentional, and that depends on the design of your jewelry. But there we go. Tap that around. All right. Get it off of there. All right. Let's see. Now that right there. Look at that. That is beautiful. Look at that. Now that right there. See that? That's absolutely perfect around there. All right. So there you go. Now that's how you make a thick bezel for a stone. Okay. Now you hardly use any pliers on that when you do it this way, using this method. The only time you put your pliers on it is at the very end, once you get them together, that last little adjustment before you solder it, and that's the only time. But you're not taking your pliers and shaping the bezel. You're shaping the bezel with your ring mandrel, okay, and your hammer, rawhide hammer. This is a rawhide hammer. Okay, this is a weighted hammer. You want a little bit of weight. If you have a little heavier rawhide hammer, it's better. I mean, you can use other hammers too, but you know it's gonna mark up your metal a little bit. But you know, you can file that out if you don't care. But now see, there's me a perfect bezel. Perfect. Alright. So, well, I think what I'm going to do is I think I might just go ahead and wrap this one up here. If you're interested in making jewelry, alright, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. But what I do on this channel, I do lost wax casting, okay, and I do a lot of casting. All right here's some rings I made. This is my most popular ring right here. This is another one I just finished. All right, then here's the same ring. Raw casting, still got the sprue on it. I'm about to just finish this one. Just got to buff it out, do a little bit of finish work. But I do gloss wax. I make wax patterns. You see all these patterns are all rings that I've made and bezels and different pieces for jewelry. Okay, I made all these patterns. I make the molds for them. Alright, and then I usually design an original piece of jewelry, then I'll make a mold off of it, alright, and then I'll cast it in whatever metal I want. This is a ring I casted right here. Okay, this is a pretty cool ring, but this right here is my most popular ring. But anyhow, if you're interested in any of this, learning how to do casting, learning how to do silversmithing, make jewelry, and anything related to jewelry, it would be great if you subscribe. I just would love to have you as part of my channel. Alright, now if you do decide that you want to subscribe, if you could just do me one little favor and write in the comment section, if you'll just put right down there, I subscribed, that'd be great. Okay, I would just love to have you as part of this channel. Alright, so well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. So my name's Steve, and I'll talk to you in the next video.